is the Creative Church Show. Tips, tricks, and shortcuts making church media easy for you and your team, all in under 10 minutes each week.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Creative Church Show. My name is Josh from joshblankenship.me. I am really excited to be back with you in this new year, 2016. I hope that your Christmas was awesome. I hope that your Christmas Eve services blew all kinds of records, and I hope that your new year was killer for you and your family. I am excited to be back with you, talking church media, leadership, creativity, all of that awesome stuff. And today I want to take just a couple minutes to talk about multi-site. Now, if your church is already multi-site or you're thinking about going multi-site, you know that it can be slightly difficult sometimes, unless you're a big church with a lot of money, to kind of duplicate the way that you do things. And I know for my church in particular, we like to have the same look and feel of our worship services. We like to have the same lobby style with the colors, and even like to integrate the same moving backgrounds, graphics, all of that stuff. We like to have be unified at each one of our locations. And sometimes that can be a little bit difficult to accomplish if you're a person media team or whatever your situation is. So today I want to give you guys 5 quick tools that I have found to work wonders for a multi-site church. And the first one I want to talk about is Dropbox. Now, most of you probably use Dropbox or have at least heard of Dropbox. One of the things that I love the most about Dropbox is that it allows me to share all of my media with the other locations without having to actually physically take it to those locations. And so when I do sermon graphics or when I do motion backgrounds, all I have to do is upload those files to Dropbox, and anybody at any of our other locations can simply click on those and put them onto their machine using ProPresenter. Another thing we've used it for in the past is we are a video-based multi-site church. And so if you're showing sermon videos, Dropbox is a great way. You can just drop the edited version into Dropbox, and somebody at the other location can simply click and drag that into Pro Video Player or whatever it is you're using to display your sermon video. So Dropbox is an awesome thing that you can use if you're trying to go multi-site, especially if your other location is farther away, where it's kind of like a day trip to get out there and see that location. Dropbox is perfect for you. Tool number 2 I want to talk about is Spotify. Now, I'm sure many of you have used Spotify, but what I love about Spotify is it allows me to create our pre-service and lobby music playlists in one location, and allows the people at the other locations to hear the same music in the lobby and in the pre-service that everyone else is hearing. So it just keeps that flow going. It just keeps the concept of sameness by using Spotify and creating a master playlist. Now, we create a playlist for every sermon series, so typically 4 to 6 weeks is a new playlist. Now, one thing you got to keep in mind with Spotify is even if you are a premium member, you still can't play multiple playlists at the same time on different machines online. So the way I get around that is whenever a new playlist is created the day before at each of the locations, they simply just download that playlist for offline use, and then when Sunday comes, they turn off the internet on that particular machine or device, and you're able to stream the same playlist. You can use this for youth groups, you can use it for children's ministry, whatever it is you want to use it for. Spotify is awesome in a multi-site church environment. Now, the third tool I want to talk about, maybe you haven't heard of, and it's called Slack. Now, Slack is basically an app. It's on your computer or on your mobile device, and it's basically an internal communication network. So sometimes it can get annoying if you're the creative director and you're trying to send stuff to your creative team at a location, or if you're a campus pastor trying to get something from the central support team. Slack is a great internal communication tool. It's not just for like sending quick text messages. It's also for sending images, spreadsheets, PDFs. You can essentially include anything you want in this internal communication tool. You can create groups. So if you want to create a group for your creative department or for your worship teams or for your campus pastors, so that these conversations can be ongoing and people have a kind of a hub to go back, and if they're grabbing graphics or sermon series, logos, whatever they're grabbing, it's all inside the app on your phone or on your computer. So Slack, I highly recommend using some sort of internal communication tool other than just text messaging and email. The fourth tool I like to use is Skype. Now, I'm sure you've probably used Skype before, so I'm not going to get into a huge thing. It's basically become the go-to for video conferencing and video calls. Now, if I had my way, I'd force everyone on staff to get Apple products so we could just use FaceTime for this. But since Skype is available on all platforms, it makes it really easy to connect with people at your other location. So if you have a weekly update meeting with your production teams from all across your locations, definitely use Skype instead of just having a phone call. It lets people see you and you can show people things on your computer and do all that kind of cool stuff just to stay in touch with the people at your other locations. Now, the final tool I want to talk about is Buffer. So if you are a social media manager and you have a multi-site church, the likelihood is that for each one of your campuses, maybe you have separate channels so that they can post to their specific location. But maybe you don't have 10 people that you can totally rely on to run 10 different networks. So one of the things you can do is to use Buffer as kind of your hub and your management tool. So instead of people at one of your locations just posting whatever comes to their mind on a Sunday morning, they simply post it to Buffer, and then you as the manager have the chance to see it before it goes out. So it's basically like a hub where everybody's posting, I guess what you would call drafts to Buffer, and then that allows you as the manager to approve or not approve that particular post. So use Buffer in a multi-site church environment. It will greatly increase your brand recognition on social media, and it'll increase your engagement if everybody's posting similar things and not each campus posting random things out there, whatever applies just to their campus. So guys, I hope that really helped you. I know that for me, managing multi-site is a little bit difficult, but it can be done. So hopefully you can use these 5 tools to manage your technology and staff better at your locations. Please make sure that you check us out on joshblankenship.me. I'd love to hear what you guys are using in a multi-site environment. Just leave us a comment in the show notes. I hope to talk to you guys next week. And remember to do something creative that matters today.